Listen to the words of the Apostle Paul in Romans 7. I do not understand what I do. For what I want to do, I do not do, but what I hate, I do. For what I do is not the good I want to do. No, the evil I do not want to do. This I keep on doing, waging war against the law of my mind and making me a prisoner of the law of sin at work within my members. This is powerlessness. And we human beings are powerless over our addictions, our unhealthy patterns, and our sinful ways. Though you do not have the power in and of yourself to overcome your sinful patterns, you do have the power to do some things that will bring fruits of victory later. Law number 3 identifies these powers. First, you have the power to agree with the truth about your problems. This is confession. Second, you have the power to submit your inability to God and turn your life over to Him, the doctor who can do what you are unable to do, bring about change. Third, you have the power to ask God and others to reveal more and more about what is within your boundaries. Fourth, you have the power to turn from the evil that you find within you. This is called repentance. 5, you have the power to humble yourself and ask God and others to help you with your developmental injuries and your leftover childhood needs. 6, you have the power to seek out those whom you have injured and make amends. 7, you have the power to forgive those who have hurt you. Besides clarifying what you do have power over, boundaries help define what you do not have power over, everything outside of them. You can work on submitting yourself to the process of clarifying your boundaries and on working with God to change you. You cannot change anything else, not the weather, not the past, not the economy, and especially not other people. I encourage you to make the serenity prayer your own. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. You need wisdom to know what is you and what is not you. Pray for the wisdom to know the difference between what you have the power to change and what you do not. Henry?
One word comes up again and again when people describe their problems with boundaries, the word they. But they won't accept me if I say no. But they will get angry if I set limits. But they won't speak to me for a week if I tell them how I really feel. The truth is that they might get mad or withdraw their love. But we have to grant them that freedom and that right. We have to let others have their reactions. This is where law number 4 comes in, the law of respect. We all want to be able to set limits, but the bad news is that we have to respect other people's limits if we want them to respect ours. We need to respect their choices of how to react to our boundaries, just as Jesus respected the rich young ruler's choice to reject his boundary in confrontation. Look in Matthew 19, 16 through 29. Put simply, we need to respect the boundaries of others in order to earn respect for our own. We need to treat their boundaries the way we want them to treat ours. It's the golden rule of Matthew 7:12, where Jesus said, "So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you." We need to respect the boundaries of others. We need to love the boundaries of others in order to command respect for our own. We need to treat their boundaries the way we want them to treat ours. If we're walking in the Spirit, we give people the freedom to make their own choices. 2 Corinthians 3:17. When we accept other people's freedom, including their freedom to say no, we don't get angry or feel guilty or withdraw our love when they set boundaries with us. When we accept others' freedom, we are also free. And that brings us to law number 5, the law of motivation. The law of motivation says this: freedom first, service second. In Matthew 20:26, Jesus calls us to serve. And He modeled a life of service when He walked this earth. But many people serve because they fear that they will lose love or that people will be angry with them if they don't serve. Other false motives for serving are attempting to avoid loneliness, thinking that to love means always to say yes, thinking that good people always say yes, trying to overcome the guilt inside and feel good about themselves, paying back all that they have received, trying to gain people's approval, especially people who represent their parents whose approval was withheld, and over-identifying with the other's loss and the feeling of sadness that they would cause. If people serve to get free of their fear that they will lose love, or the fear that people will be angry with them, or other false motives, they are doomed to failure. If people serve freely out of gratitude, an overflowing heart, and love for others, they realize that it is truly more blessed to give than to receive. The law of motivation calls us to give bountifully and freely out of a heart of gratitude rather than a heart of fear. Freedom first, service second. That is how life works best. The good news here is that you don't have to step into freedom on your own. Let God work on your fears, resolve them, and create some healthy boundaries to guard the freedom that you were called to.